What if I told you Walter White, aka Heisenberg, is alive and not guilty? There is an upcoming Breaking Bad movie and everyone is focused on Jesse Pinkman, but there is a chance. There is a chance, and this is not clickbait. This is not no ridiculous off-the-wall stuff. Trust me, what you think you know and what you think you saw in the end of the finale, it might not be what you think and what you know. What am I saying here? In the new Breaking Bad movie, yes, there's a chance that Walter White is alive and he is not guilty of being Heisenberg. And let me dig right into this because we all know this is Walter White on the right. This is Jesse Pinkman on the left. We saw what happened within the finale. Jesse drove away, free finally, and Walter White, he collapsed. We didn't see him die, though. He got shot in the side. Yes. He collapsed. Yes. It does not mean he's dead. So if he's not dead, and if he is not guilty, then who? Who is guilty? Who? Who is Heisenberg? Well, you guys already know who Heisenberg is. Jack. That's right. Uncle Jack is Heisenberg. And we have Jack, and then we have his apprentice, the dark mirror of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, the real Heisenberg and his protege. Now, you might be saying, Ronnie, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Walter White is Heisenberg. No, not according to the law, because Walter White has zero evidence of any crime up until when he met up with Jack. But guess what? Walter White didn't do the prison killings. Jack did it. Jack is the one who orchestrated it within his group. And in the upcoming movie, it could be proven that it was Jack. Now, wait a minute, hold on. That's not who I think it is. That's Jack Nicholson. Okay, here we go. This is Hank. Holy crap, that looked like Hank. No, okay, that is not Hank. This is Hank. Who killed Hank? Was it Walter White? Was it Heisenberg? No, it was Uncle Jack, the real Heisenberg. Who killed Jesse's girlfriend? It was the real Heisenberg's protege, Todd, the blank, starry-eyed, dopey-looking son of a bitch. He did it. Traffic lights can prove, the little webcam, the cameras on traffic lights, they can prove this within the movie, that it was them that drove up, whoop-de-whoop, with the vehicle's license plates at that, point in time. It can be proven. And when the cops roll up to Uncle Jack's house, what do they find? A huge meth-making operation with chains installed and with one person being forced. Now, this is very important because this person is being forced. His life, he's literally chained inside this warehouse. He's being forced or else he will die. And guess what? There's evidence of this. People he knows and people he loves. This girl will die. People you love, your family will die. Now, that's very important for the end. And we already know he's been beaten. His DNA's down there. His blood's down there. We know Heisenberg, Uncle Jack, will torment you, kill the ones you love if you don't do what he says. He's powerful. He has money. He has a gang, a crew, an army behind him. You don't cross him, especially if you're a nobody like Walter White. However, Walter White ended up getting the upper hand. He couldn't even convince his own brother-in-law that I'm not the real Heisenberg. It's this other guy. He couldn't even convince him. He tried to save his life, but he failed. And he had no other options. On the run. No other options. Everyone thinks he is someone he's not. He takes matters into his own hands. He kills the real Heisenberg. Jesse kills the real Heisenberg protege. And Jesse leaves and Walter White collapses among all the evidence. But then you say, Ronnie, there's a couple things like plot holes. What about the disc? What about the disc where Jesse Pinkman told Hank about all the crimes? It was Walter White. He's a Matt's genius and all this. Well, don't forget, this can also be proven that it was in fact Uncle Jack's group, his crew. They can trail them through the traffic surveillance, whatever cops do in real life for crimes and stuff. They went to Hank's house and they tossed it, looking for evidence of the real Heisenberg, what they think. What they don't know is they found and they destroyed the tape. The tape is not a loophole anymore. It's destroyed. After watching this, they talk about it must be destroyed, whoop-de-whoop. They make fun of Jesse, but the tape is gone. It's no longer evidence. Hank is dead is no longer evidence. Even still, Hank thought it was his brother-in-law, Walter White, but it wasn't. It was the guy behind him, forcing him to do it, making him to do it. The puppet master pulling the strings. And when they bury up Hank, because Walter White gave the coordinates to his wife to get out of trouble, to use that as leverage, when they dig up Hank and then they show up to where Walter White is bleeding out and this shootout happened, they find tons of evidence proving it was the real Heisenberg, Uncle Jack's gun, that killed Hank and his crew's weapons that were shot in that area that did kill 2 DEA agents. And there's more evidence to show tons of different illegal activities that all convince them that this man was forced to become something he despised, a meth cook. And with all that wrapped up, because let me remind you guys, remember, Jesse is clearly the evidence that they can chain you, they can kill the ones you love. He is physical proof that if you don't do what Heisenberg says, your wife will die, your kids will die, this will happen, everyone you love will get got, especially after. You might say, but Walter White made that phone call. That's because he just witnessed his brother-in-law, a DEA agent, get slaughtered. And he knew he had to get his family safe somehow, and there was no way. He couldn't even get his brother-in-law to believe him. There's no way the cops are just going to believe what he has to say. He has to frame it a certain way so she's not locked up and she isn't killed the same way, because again, the real Heisenberg had people killed in prison. Uncle Jack had people killed in prison. So with the new Breaking Bad movie, there is a chance for Heisenberg to put the hat on again. Now, originally, I rewatched the entire seasons and I spent so many hours trying to pull images and video clips, and this was going to be a whole 45-minute highly edited and polished video showing you all these different things that you can do as far as storytelling wise. And I had it scripted. I had a lot of the stuff pulled out. However, with the announcement with the Breaking Bad movie, I feel like it's not really going to be worth spending, again, like 2 weeks editing that together, because they're going to announce what's happening with the movie soon. And in a week from now, if they announce it's only, Jesse Pinkman and Walter White's not in it at all, not even a little bit, then the prediction video or this fun, neat little what if video wouldn't matter as far as spending so much time editing. So I wanted to throw a couple images on the screen and refresh your memory, but this is something, if you rewatch the series, you can actually go in and switch some things around for the movie. Not switch things around, but you can make excuses for things so that it ends up believable that Walter White is alive and not guilty. Put your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box below. I'm done talking. It's your turn.